Hi everybody, it's Laura Parke. PrivateScubaLessons.com is the name of my website, and I'm filming you today live here in Dania Beach, Florida, the city I love and live in. For those of you that don't know where Dania Beach is, it's actually where the Fort Lauderdale Airport is located. It's not in Fort Lauderdale or Hollywood, it's actually in Dania Beach. And the reason I love to live here, and the reason you are hearing airplanes in the background, is that we are less than a mile from the airport, which is on the other side of these mangroves. But one of the reasons that I love living in Dania Beach is because there's 3 natural estuaries that they will never develop. They're mangrove wetlands, and that's where all the fish spawn and breed, as well as crabs and turtles. They need the protection of calm water that's provided here in the Intercoastal Waterway. To pick up where I left off last week on fears of scuba diving, we covered number 1, and I've got 10 in all, but I'm going to only talk about 1 at a time. Last week we talked about drowning, and if you missed that one, you can go on to Vimeo.com, that's V as in Victor, IMEO.com, type in my name, Laura Parke, L-A-U-R-A-P-A-R-K-E, and you can find my video on drowning. And that was the topic of last week's fear of scuba diving, which is pretty much the number 1 fear. But we're going to talk about the number 2 fear today in scuba diving, which is, see if you can guess before I write it on the board. That is sharks. Lots of people ask me, will we see sharks on our scuba dive? Well, I can take you specifically to a spot located that we do see nurse sharks and all kinds of other sharks. But a lot of people ask me not to take them where sharks are because they have a definite fear about sharks and because they probably watch too much television. You also have heard that sharks do attack people. I'm here to tell you today, though, to please notice when you hear that on the news, that most people that are attacked by sharks are surfers. They are not scuba divers. Why do surfers get attacked more often than scuba divers? And scuba divers, I've never heard of anybody getting eaten as a result of scuba diving. Surfers resemble a turtle. Just when they are laying on their board waiting for a wave to come in and ride, their surfboard looks like the bottom of the shell of the turtle. And their arms that are flailing out on top of the water line as long as their legs, that the shark kind of thinks look like the fins of a turtle. Not only that, it's not just blood that attracts sharks, it's actually the flicking and flailing of your arms and legs on top of the water that makes a vibration in the water that the shark hears. And just to let you know, you can get over your fear of scuba diving about the fears of sharks. If you'll notice, the woman who was dismembered from the arm down, she was a surfer, but she never let that deter her from going surfing again. Once she got over her stitches healing, as well as being able to gain her balance again, she was back into the water surfing without fear, and she's doing this today. Sharks are just as afraid of you as you are of them. And I've certified over 700 people. Not one has ever been provoked or even threatened by a shark. It does not happen. I guarantee you that. What does happen is people get their breathing out of control sometimes when they see the shark, and as long as you keep your breath in control and you don't bolt to the surface, you have no fear or anything to worry about when it comes to the shark. I'm also there to hold your hand personally should you become afraid. But sharks need to keep swimming to breathe. They cannot stand still. They are never going to approach you and get right in front of your face and smile and take your head off. They have to move to keep breathing. And typically what happens when I go scuba diving and we sight a shark, you better look quickly or you're not going to see it because it keeps swimming. It does not like people. The vibrations of your bubbles from your exhaust or exhaling scares them, and they don't like it. The only time I have seen sharks around is when people are spearfishing. But again, they have never attacked the person that has gone spearfishing. They are attracted to the flicking of the injured fish. That has what's attracted them, along with the blood in the water. Sharks are an endangered species. There are not too many of them to see anymore because of commercial fishing, and something that you hear the Oriental Asian population do is they are killing them for their dorsal fin. And it's really a brutal death, because what they do is they capture the shark, they cut off the top of the fin and throw the rest of the shark back into the water. The shark has a hard time swimming after that, and basically it starves to death because it cannot find food. It can't swim properly enough to go and find itself food, and what an awful way to die is to starve yourself to death. There are many types of sharks in the water. Typically the Florida sharks are nurse sharks, the Caribbean reef sharks, and occasionally you'll see a black tip or a bull shark. So probably I see a shark maybe every once in every 25 dives, but sharks really need your protection. They are endangered species, quite a bit of them, and I pray that you would have the courage, if you go shark fishing, that once you capture it and you reel it in, that you would take a picture of it and release it. Not take it home, get it stuffed, okay? We need your protection, and if you don't care, who is going to? So this is Laura Parke with PrivateScubaLessons.com. I'm begging you to care enough to care about sharks.